Pinocchio, the new live action movie based on the 1940 original classic. Well, let's just face it, the 1940 animated classic can't be beat. This is a great movie. I grew up with that movie. I had the VHS with the big plastic case on it. You know what I'm talking about, right? Drop me a like for the classics. We gotta love the classics. The live action remake, though, I'm gonna be honest, is getting a lot of hate. Is it justified? I don't know. I didn't hate the movie. I thought it was pretty good. And you know me, if you've been on this channel before, I'm kind of not a big fan of the live action Disneys. Most of them, not all, most of them are garbage. I'm sorry, I can't get behind them. There are a few I like, just not many. And this one, although it is getting a lot of hate, I feel like it wasn't a bad movie. I kind of enjoyed it. But there was a lot of good and a lot of bad, so we're going to talk about both. Let's start with the good, though. The good on this is they stuck to the story, I'm going to say 90%. 90% of the story is of the original, and I enjoy that. I don't like when they twist things too much. And I can't talk about the good without talking about Tom Hanks. And I know some people said he was kind of meh in this movie, but I love Tom Hanks. I do. Call me biased, I don't know. I thought he played an incredible Geppetto. He had the look, he had the voice, he had the dancing around, the way Geppetto did, dancing around the room. I liked it. I thought he did a really, really good job. Now, that also segues into the way, when I said looks, the look of the film was really good. I enjoyed the way they did up Geppetto's room with the clocks, although I don't know if I call this a spoiler alert. The clocks that are actually, when the bird normally pops out and squawks on the cuckoo clock, it's different movie characters from Disney. Whether it be, like Snow White or Toy Story or whatever, that's popping out doing things. I thought that was a little cheesy. We could have probably done without that, but it was humorous. But Jiminy Cricket stole the show for me. I thought he was one of the best characters in this movie. Joseph Gordon-Levitt killed it. I didn't realize he could play such a great Jiminy Cricket, but he did. He was smart and witty, comical when he had to be. I mean, he was a really good, you know how he was both narrator and character in the show. So he played both roles, and I love the fact they had the perspective of Jiminy Cricket. He had like a real low point of view as if you were Jiminy and looking at some things, or really high, depending on if he was on a shelf or something. I appreciated that. That look, the cinematics behind it was really good. But that's also kind of a mixed bag. I don't want to put that in the bad, but I guess I probably could put some of that in the bad. I'm going to put that in the mixed bag, because some of the CGI and some of the looks were really, really good, and I enjoyed it, and it looked like a high-end movie. But then we had a lot of scenes that looked cheap. Like, you could tell they were on a set, and it just didn't look like a high-end Disney movie. Now, granted, it's going right to Disney Plus, but the point is, even Disney can do better for a Disney Plus movie. So it was very inconsistent. We had scenes that looked really, really good, and they took their time and put some money into it, and it looked great. And then we had other scenes that, like, is this a B-rated movie? We have very bad lighting, and we know you're on a set. You can see, like, it's not great. So some consistency would have been nice. But sticking with the good, another character I absolutely loved that I thought they knocked out of the park, Honest John. I love the fox. I love the fox. He's a fox, so he's cunning. He's a con artist, and I really felt like a connection with this fox. There was a lot of emotion behind him. There was a lot of cunning. You knew he was devious, and that just projected from the screen, so it had a good feeling behind this character. Now, Pinocchio was good too. I did enjoy Pinocchio overall. His design was really nice. There was only one complaint, and that was the eyes. I know everyone's complaining about the eyes. They don't match up with the rest of him. It's weird. I don't know. His eyes were creepy. If they'd have redid the eyes, it would have been better. But overall, I thought this was a good movie. And I don't know, it's because I'm biased because I enjoyed Pinocchio as a kid and the original animated version. But, you know, that I feel like it's also a good judgment because I still think the animated version is better by far. You can't beat the classic, but this wasn't a bad version either. But now I think it's time to talk about some of the bad, and some of which we kind of already talked about in the mixed bag thing with the set and Pinocchio's eyes, and those kind of things are a little off. But the bad here is that I know a lot of people are bringing up the term soulless. You know, when you talk about a live action Disney movie, they're like, oh, it's soulless and it's just not bringing the same emotion as the animated versions or the animated originals. And I think that is 100% accurate. I didn't feel that emotional connection and that soul, as they say, in this movie. I don't want to say it was boring or bland. It just wasn't exceptionally captivating. Now, when you have the original animated ones, you have like these sound effects and the score and little musical notes and things that really amp up the emotion of the scene. And we didn't have that in this. So the scenes that were supposed to be hyped up weren't exactly hyped up. Now, of course, I also said that I enjoy some small changes. Now, that is true. But then there are some changes that are not so welcome. Like, there's a scene where Pinocchio goes to school, right? Geppetto's having a hard time letting him go. He's just going out to his first day of school. And he comes upon a big pile of crap in the middle of the street. Like, literally, an animal took a dump in the middle of the street, and Pinocchio is squatted down staring at it for a solid 15 seconds, staring at this pile of crap. Meanwhile, his apple has fallen onto the ground, either in or next to the pile of crap that he then picks up and walks away. Like, seriously? Did I seriously just see that? And then we do have some new additions to the movie. We have the introduction of two characters, or technically one character controlling another character. And we have other characters that weren't in the original. And the thing I have a problem with, not the character themselves, because I, didn't mind the character, but this girl they introduced, who is, I guess, a dancer, puppet master, whatever. She has her own little puppet. She's in there, but you could tell she's been used as filler. They wanted to make a change. They didn't know how to make the change work exceptionally well, though. Like, if she'd have had a more important role, it would have been more interesting. But she's, again, just filler. She's fluff, and we could have completely done without it, and it wouldn't have changed the movie whatsoever. But then that brings me into my next problem with the movie, and that is the length of it. This is a 2-hour movie. And it's only 2 hours, I feel like, because of this new character and the new changes they made. Now, I think the old movie was, what, an hour and 40 minutes? What? I don't know. Tell me down below what that time was. I don't feel like looking it up right now, but I know it was not nearly 2 hours long. Hour and 40 minutes, max, call it quits, be done, and it would have been an even better movie than it is now. But because we added these extra characters and extra scenes, it lengthened the movie too long, and I think it accentuated the soulless factor. Because it was so long, without the dramatic scenes, without that emotion, it just made the movie feel longer than it should have been. So honestly, overall, I did enjoy the movie. I just wish it was shorter. I would enjoy this movie so much more had we cut 20 minutes out of it and really focused more on the emotion and the drama where it was needed, and it would have been a great movie. So right now, it was kind of like an okay movie for me. Would I watch it again? If my kids wanted to, sure, I'll watch it again. Me personally, I'm not going to go searching for it to turn it on, but I will sit down with my kids and watch again if they ask. So I think that speaks enough volume for me anyway, considering I'm not a big fan of a lot of the live actions. So take it as you will. If you've seen it, I want to know what your thoughts are. Did you like it? Did you not? What did you like about it? Let's try not to spoil too much. But yeah, I'm very curious of what your thoughts are. Do me a favor, drop a like on the video, or at least drop a like for the original animated movie. I mean, that was fantastic, right? So, also on your way out, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I'm Kevin, and I'll see you at the concession stands.